Welcome to the third episode in a Legendarium series about the history of alchemy. In part 3, Beginning a New Age, we will talk about alchemy's entry into the early modern age. The late medieval era did not prove kind to alchemists, but times changed in their favor. The Renaissance saw an upsurge in the popularity of science, along with the more well-known artistic revolution. Religion became less important, while the search for human knowledge became more important than ever before. Miners came up from the earth with wondrous stories of silver and copper ore deposits in Central Europe. They told of great trunks of minerals branching out into limb-like veins deep underground. Alchemists reasoned that if metallic silver deposits could spread through the earth like trees, then perhaps they could grow and change minerals the same way. Paracelsus, a 16th century chemist, used such thinking to make great advances in botany and medicine. Though trained in alchemy, Paracelsus gave it a new purpose. His Latin name is an extension of the name of the Roman chemist Celsus, which means greater than Celsus. Paracelsus is sometimes called the father of toxicology because of his belief, later proven to be fact, that poison could be safe in small doses. Instead of using herbs to treat the sick, Paracelsus used chemicals. He believed that the human body functioned just like the materials used in alchemy. Lead could be transformed into gold using minerals, so Paracelsus believed that the body's organs could be transformed from sick to healthy using chemicals in the body, just like chemicals in the alchemy lab. In the process, he gave us the name for zinc, after the distinct crystals it formed when used in alloys. Both respected and hated, Paracelsus rejected medieval dogma. For example, he insisted that miners in his home region died from inhaling mineral dust, not offending mountain spirits by tunneling into their home. A truly radical notion at the time. Yet in a parallel to the later story of Frankenstein, Paracelsus claimed to have created human life. Within a glass test tube, Paracelsus claimed to create a homunculus, a miniature human. He even published the recipe, asserting that he created life by placing his own sperm in a container and placing the container under horse manure for 40 days. After that, he fed the resulting creature his own blood for 40 more days. After that, Paracelsus insisted that the homunculus could be educated just like a child. This created an uproar, for many believed that Paracelsus, if he spoke the truth, played God. Many others rushed to create their own homunculi. Though many claimed success, none produced a living homunculus, not even Paracelsus himself. Before long, Paracelsus claimed that he destroyed his creation as it did not have a soul and thus should not exist. Perhaps Paracelsus can be remembered as the inventor of the publicity stunt as well. Less noble alchemists soaked up the attention as well. Alchemists and their counterparts in astrology and natural magic gained much power during the early modern era. Knights, lords, and even kings showed interest in alchemical experiments. Courts employed it for spectacle and theater. Any self-respecting lord simply had to have an alchemist and astrologer at the ready to impress his guests. Alchemy also picked up its biggest fan in Rudolph II, who came of age in Spain. After becoming Holy Roman Emperor, Rudolph II moved his residence from Vienna to Prague, which enjoyed a political and cultural golden age. Emperor Rudolph promoted the arts and sciences, creating a chamber of curiosities to display fossils and exotic animal specimens in a Golden Lane Zoo next to automata and modern measuring instruments. Rudolph also promoted the scholarly arts and sciences, summoning historians and antiquarians, mathematicians and astronomers to his court. Pioneers of modern science, such as Tycho Brahe and Johann Kepler, worked alongside charlatans and adventurers who sought the emperor's favor and his gold by discovering the philosopher's stone. Of course, if Rudolph II found out that an alchemist swindled him, that swindler would not live long. One such fraud in Rudolph's court endured poetic justice. The emperor hung him using golden tinsel from a gallows painted gold. Rather than scaring them off, this only made some frauds more determined to hide their nefarious activities. Some made alloys so similar in appearance to gold that they successfully passed it off as the real thing for years. Another fraud named Edward Kelly briefly found himself a place at the court of Queen Elizabeth I of England. According to rumor, Edward Kelly put any metal into a crucible, added a mysterious powder, stirred and heated it, and produced gold. Supposedly, he procured the powder from angels, who passed along some of their arcane knowledge to him. The Queen hoped to use Kelly's invention to finance her war against Spain, and Kelly's success proved as short-lived as one would expect. He fled to the court of Emperor Rudolph II. There, he displeased the emperor by dueling with one of his favorite court officials. When he attempted to flee, the emperor's men shot Kelly in the leg and threw him into prison. Rather than lose both his freedom and likely his leg to amputation, Kelly ended his life by drinking poison smuggled into his chamber. The end came for Edward Kelly, but alchemy had further to go. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.